Ever feel like you're stuck? Like you're not reaching your full potential? What if I told you that you could completely change your life in the next 6 to 12 months? And no, you don't have to disappear like all the gurus are telling you. You could do this at home by following practical steps. I've been there myself, felt lost, overwhelmed, not confident in my ability, but I did come back from the dead. And I've since helped thousands of business owners all over the world. And today I'm going to share with you how you can do the same thing too. No fluff, no BS, no asking you to disappear, forsake your family, stop eating, and only sit in front of your screen every single day, but a real method that allows you to still live a life and get practical results. So let's dive in and take a look at what you can do right now. The first place where you want to start is by conducting a life audit. We're going to keep it simple but practical at the same time. I want you to think about the three most important areas of your life. It could be your health, your career or finances, and your relationships. Now, you want to take each of these areas separately and you want to rate it from a level 1 to a level 10. 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. And you want to write down why you are choosing this number, because this process has to be intentional. If you're just picking a number because that's what it feels like in the moment and you don't really think about it, then this process is not going to feel real, which means you're not going to take action. Then at the end of that, write down what is the cost of having this number be in this area of your life. So let's say you take health and let's write down a 4. Now, I want you to write down, what is it costing you? What's the cost of having your health be a number 4? So it could be the cost is, I don't have any energy. I am constantly depressed and stressed out. I avoid any social interactions. I always tell people that I'm not feeling good, that I don't have any time, and it's just eating me up from the inside. I really want you to add emotion to this, because if you don't add any pain to this, there's no reason for you to make a change in the first place. And so this video will just be one of the other many videos that you may have watched. You feel good in the moment, but you don't do anything. And I want you to take action with these videos. Once you have a clear idea of what your current life looks like, take those same areas and compare it. What would my life look like if I had it the way that I wanted it? So with these 3 areas, ask yourself, if I made a 2 or 3 point improvement in these areas, what would it look like? How would I feel differently? How would my days, weeks, months look differently? Get specific. Take your time, map out a picture, a vision of what your life looks like. The reason I tell you to only go 2 to 3 is if you're a level 4 and you go to level 10, it becomes too untangible. It becomes too far-fetched. But a 2 or 3 point improvement is still manageable. You want to go for manageable because you can create real results. And then on top of those real results, guess what? Yes, you build more results. When I was living in New York, running my custom shoe brand All and Sundry, I felt dissatisfied. When it came to the area of health, I can just tell you that I wasn't happy because I was struggling with chronic stress. I was working 7 days a week. I barely had any time for relationships, and I wasn't making a lot of money. I was just making enough to survive in New York City, which really isn't the most fun experience. And on top of that, I didn't feel that my work as an owner of a custom shoe brand was making a difference in people's lives. Yeah, they were really happy about the shoes, but come on, there was a lot more that I could do. And so I started envisioning, if I was a coach and a speaker, and if I would start traveling the world, what would that look like? And man, that got me hyped up. I would live maybe in Portugal, maybe in Mexico, maybe in South Africa, maybe in Italy, maybe in Germany. And I would start get really excited about that. And then I asked myself, how would my day look different? I was like, oh, I think I would have a bunch of coaching conversations scheduled throughout the day. Once or twice a week, I would run an event or I would attend an event in person. That would be really cool. And then, yeah, I think the weekends, I definitely wouldn't work anymore. I'd be like traveling around, exploring cities or nature. And I got really hyped because now I had a clear picture that was forming. I could see what I had in the moment and what I wanted. From there, you want to go to prioritizing 2 to maximum 3 high impact, high leverage actions. See, the problem with most people that fail at doing this process is they set up their entire life vision. They're like, okay, I'm going to do these 500 things. And then they get onto it. Maybe the first week or two, it works out well, but then boom, you crash because it's just not manageable. Their expectations are just too much. They're skewed by watching all these internet gurus that, look, I went from fat to six pack in 2 seconds. You can do the same thing by buying my magic pill. It's just a bunch of BS. Let's get down to reality, to doing the stuff that actually works. Now, the first high level action that I recommend is before you ask yourself how, you ask yourself who. It is so powerful to talk to people who have done the change that you want to do, because it gives you an example of a real life person. And once you meet them, there's a picture that starts forming like, well, if this guy can do it, then maybe I can do it too. And then you want to ask that person, where did you come from? What were your beginnings like? Did you struggle? Was it easy for you? And they'll share tips, they'll share resources with you. They might introduce you to other people. This is where you truly start making substantial growth happen. And then number two, you want to couple that by joining an accountability group, or if you have the finances available, hire a coach. Accountability is so important. I cannot underline this enough, because you can set the greatest, most inspiring plan ever in motion. If you don't have anybody to hold you accountable, it's going to be really hard to stick to it. And then number three of the high leverage actions, you want to set measurable 6 to 12 months goal that are also realistic, and break them down into process driven goals. Let's say health, because health is easy to understand, right? Let's say you want to get into the shape of your life. What does that actually mean? I want to have this amount of body fat. I want to have this amount of muscle mass. I want to weigh this much. Got it. So now where am I right now? So now you have the here's where I am, here's where I want to be. Now you break it down. What does that mean? It means I'm eating this many calories in a day. Got it. I'm working out this many times per week, which means one time a day for 30 minutes. So you see how you break it down on what you can focus on, what's in your control, what the process looks like. And you do this for each of those three areas. The next thing that you have to understand is that you got to focus on consistency more than you focus on speed. Forget about the speed. Forget about the timeline. Yes, 6 to 12 months is a good timeline to set into motion, but then let it go. Too many people, I see this all the time, they get so stressed out, it creates anxiety. And with stress and anxiety, it will derail your habit formation, because stress and anxiety make you focus on old patterns, on things that make you feel like you're in control. And so you let the new stuff fall behind. A good way to achieve this and helping you form a good habit is celebrate the small wins every day. Do it to yourself. Share it with another person. Now, be in accountability groups. If you're in an accountability group, you could merge the two steps. You could share your wins, and you can say, hey, look, I did what I said I was going to do. Also, focus on slowly, gradually raising the bar. So if you're working out, let's say you want to get into a different shape, you're starting from not working out at all. Don't go to working out 5 times a week. Go to working out once, and then do that for a week. And then the next week you go to twice, or you do it every 10 days, and then go to 3 times, right? But you stack it up slowly and consistently, because that truly will make sure that you stick to the process. When it comes to sticking to your habits, you want to make sure that your environment works for you. Look, this is my office. And if my office is full of distractions, right? If I've got some snacks over here, if I've got my phone here, and then I see all these messages pop up all the time, I'm going to be distracted. So you got to set your environment up to help you win. Remove distractions from your environment. And then the next thing that is part of the environment is communicate. You may not be living alone. Maybe you have a partner, you have a spouse, or you live with your family, the roommate. Talk to them. Let them know, hey, look, I am working on these 3 things for the next 6 to 12 months. And what would really help is for you to not come into my room unexpected. Just knock if you need something, or respect that from this time to this time, I'm not available, or I will do the dishes from this time to this time, right? You have certain arrangements that you need to take care of. And for that, you need to communicate, because people can't just read your mind. They don't know that you're trying to change your life. So with that, you need to set boundaries. Turn your phone onto flight mode. Remove all the distractions from Slack channels. Don't respond to clients immediately. Communicate with them that you'll be available from this time to this time. draw those boundaries, because the boundaries, they protect your energy, they protect your focus, and with that, they help you to achieve the goals that you're looking to set for 6 to 12 months. Two more things: plan ahead, monthly, weekly, daily. I do this using two tools. One is very simple. It's Notes on Apple, and I write down my monthly goals. That's part of the vision, right? The vision is at the top. Underneath that, I have my monthly goal, and then I break my monthly goal down into weekly steps. I plan my whole week, Monday, Tuesday, and so forth, and I write down what are the process-driven goals that I have for that day. And I focus on not doing more than 3 big items every single day. On top of that, I have my accountability systems. So I have coaches. I'm part of coaching groups where I am required to check in on a daily basis. Sometimes I make requests of specific coaches and I say, hey, if you see me not check in after a couple of days, please check in on me. And that stuff works like magic. And the last thing, you're probably not told a lot in these videos about changing your life in 6 to 12 months, is you have to let go of your old self and become the new self. What that means is you have to let go of the limiting beliefs, or to say it differently, the beliefs that got you to where you are in these 3 areas of your life, and now prevent you from going to where you want to be. So maybe a belief that you once had was, I got to work hard all the time. I can only do it myself. It helped you to become this lone wolf and work on yourself a lot. But now you need more people in your life to support you. So now I can do it all on my own is no longer a healthy belief for you. Now it's a belief that you got to let go. Become aware of the limiting beliefs that are holding you in place and they don't allow you to grow more. Replace them with the beliefs that you would have if you were already the kind of person that has the life you have. And then repeat the beliefs every single day so they sink into your subconscious mind. And an extra hack on letting go of the old self is what I shared with you in the beginning, which is identify the cost of being where you are right now. Make sure that you're adding pain to being where you are, because the more painful it is, the easier it's going to be for you to let it go. So there we have it. This is how you change your life in 6 to 12 months. But here's the thing. I know you have probably been watching tons of manifestation videos online. And let me tell you, many of them are lying to you because they're presenting you with a simplified version that just sounds really good. It generates a lot of views, but it doesn't give you the practical steps on how you actually do it. If you're interested in finding that out, click this video right here and I'll give you the full picture. I'll see you in there. Peace out.